Namaste, beloved ones. This is Master Lady Kira Raa. I am as you are, and welcome, welcome, welcome to an extraordinary moment. My heart is beaming with love that you are here right now. And thank you for saying yes to this moment. Arriving into April, arriving into this time out of time sequence is a celebration beyond celebration. It is a moment where we are celebrating all that is, where we are moving forward in ways that we have not ever moved before, where we know that we are at humanity's, and this one, it's a tongue twister, guys, right? We are at humanity's destiny density moment. I want you to really feel that. Go ahead and pull up density in one hand, right? There it is. Pull up density, just kind of feel it. Just go, okay, there it is. Witness it, right? Don't dive into it. There's density. That's what it looks like. And then open up that other hand and there's destiny. And so right now, that's the gift. That is the moment. This April time out of time initiating experience, and that's what it is. This 3 months, we're not just opening up tomorrow. This is so important that next week on the first Sunday, remember we came to you a week early because this is too important. You've got to know right now before we dive in. But next Sunday, I'm going to do a quick 15-minute update at the same time. So mark your calendar right now, live at noon next Sunday, 15-minute update, because that's how much is happening between now and then. And that's how important it is that we just say hello again next Sunday, just for 15. That's all I'm asking for. So today, in this April time out of time initiating experience, what's happening is that this profound influence of the Mercury retrograde is just like, here it is, we're already in it. For some of you, you're catching the show, you're already in it. And so as we're feeling this come around this beautiful cycle, as we're feeling it wrapping around this potentiality right now, this is actually a balancing moment with the solar eclipse. Remember that we are right now in the energy of a resurrection that initiated, that began this journey, this trishul, on that March 25th lunar eclipse. Now, here's what's so profound is that when we move into this April 8 moment, spoiler alert, most of you know this already, but that April 8 moment is an alchemical transformational new moon. Really breathe that in. Alchemical transformational new moon. And so in that moment, we are having this extraordinary solar eclipse that is of such a great magnitude that it is very much a density and destiny experience, is it not? You're hearing about it everywhere. People are getting excited, whether it's from a purely scientific standpoint, whether it's from any other standpoint. Why are they getting excited? Well, lots of reasons. Lots of reasons. Number one, we are at a moment of rebirth. And I just want you to really breathe that in. And to really remember that whenever we come into a moment of rebirth, whenever it's undeniably in front of us, and I know that many of you know that, you know you're at an undeniable rebirth moment. However, in that undeniable rebirth moment, what are you choosing to carry into this life? And where are you setting your boundaries? Where are you affirming? What's presenting in front of you that still needs resolution, the solution, right? Because right now, bringing your hands to your heart, moving from this resurrection, this ascension energy, there's so much to share and so much to show you today. But moving from this energy right now, this March moment of extraordinary divine awareness. I mean, just really feel that capacity, feel the ability to say yes to that, to really let that be. And so in that March awareness and that capacity of everything moving through that equinox moment into that 25th where we opened up that trishul, we're bringing us to the right now. Your life, this waking potentiality, breathe that in. Boy, did I feel a lot of you hold your breath. So this life right now, really just feel that, right? This life, it may not be what the mind of density wanted it to be, what this energy that combines with this realm of potentiality into the fear-based planetary thought body. It has its own cycle in the 5 medicines, because it's the 4 medicines spinning around the 5th, kind of dancing at it, looking at it, sometimes touching in, right? Zadkiel used to call it the hokey pokey. So, you know, going in and out. But when right now, when your life, when you can lift, and I'm going to go back to the multidimensional presence on how to do this again very quickly, and then I'm going to show you some of the things that are happening right now. So when your life may not be, to the mind of density, what you think it should be, could be, or wanted it to be, that's because everything has overridden that brought you to this moment right now, where you caught my eyes catching yours in this moment right now, gazing at you saying, it's because it's your destiny. And one of my favorite lines from a movie was that Gandhi was never going to be a race car driver. No matter how hard Gandhi would have tried to be a lawyer, tried to do a lot of things in density, until finally it was like, this is who I am, that undeniable truth. And in the living of the undeniable truth, miracles abound. So April, May, and June, and I'm going to go through this with you. I'm going to explain it with you right now. And I pray you're putting your questions in the chat. Sue's back in Maine right now, packing up to move here permanently. We're all very excited. So if you're in the chat, make sure you're congratulating her. She'll be back at Tosa Blue Mountain at her true home, April 27. We're very excited to welcome her as another full-time resident here. And so right now, I want you to realize, as we are the chalice, right? As we become the chalice, that in your chalice moment right now, it has been filling itself with awareness all throughout March. Awareness. It's the chalice of awareness. And it's inviting you to say, yes, fill me to the brim, 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 which means that in the perfection of I am here as the sea of neutrality, in the perfection of that, I want you to really breathe that in the perfection of that, everything's coming into that chalice. And so what is it going to take to really receive and to really be with that? Well, first, let's remember how we got here. And so this is all about our multidimensional alchemy. And as you're gazing at this, you know, we first started talking about this in 2019. And as you look at what's been happening ever since concentric dimensionality entered in, ever since we were able to really lift off. Remember, 2019 was like that arrow. It was very much, the time was like an arrow that then by the time we hit 2020, all sense of linearity was gone by August, right? So as you're gazing at this, as you're really feeling it, stand if you can. Let's do this together. I want to assist you right now to feel this, because this is beyond a sense of the mind. And if I only share it with you through my words, then we're not in balance with all of the medicines, right? Because remember, it's the 5 medicines together that unify this field and lift us up from death, transition from ascension, resurrection, which is where we are right now. We are being gifted in this time out of time experience the opportunity to stand in our 9th dimensional experience. And that's why I want to invite you to experience it right now. So if you can stand, we're going to take a minute, and I'm just going to, you see this here, 3, 5, 7, 9, okay? I'm just going to stop the share because I want to make sure that if you're able to stand, and I'm going to stand back a little bit from the camera so that hopefully you can see my feet. And if you can't, that's okay. I'll do my best to describe it for you. All right. So let's see. I'm just going to turn the camera a little bit that way. Isn't he beautiful? That's a senior Tigre, by the way. And so is that cute little gnome. All right. So, well, this is best I'm going to do. Maybe I can do this for you. So again, if you can stand, you want to stand with your feet shoulder width. So let's go ahead and put our feet shoulder width apart. And as we have our feet shoulder width apart, right now, I just want you to let your hands relax, let your shoulders relax, everything relax. Just let it go. The mind is on overdrive. And I'm going to share why in a moment. It's part of because you're literally walking into an experience that's never happened before, right? Ever. We have taken consciousness to a whole new game here, and how wonderfully affirming is that? So as you're standing here right now, and as you feel your feet, in my case, what I'm aware of is the wind, the beauty of all of the wind that's coming in around me. Feel the beauty of the wind. Feel the beauty of it whether you're in it or not. Just lift your arms up like I am and be wind. And as I'm sharing this with you, notice your ears. There is a harmonic frequency, and it's literally right here. If you're not hearing it, an erase, erase, erase can help, right? Remember 3, all right? Always do the erase, 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 but right here. So as your arms are out feeling the wind, and if it's safe to close your eyes, do so. And connect with this harmonic frequency. Whether you hear it or not, just smile into it. And in this moment, notice your physical body, the first of the medicines. Is there any aspect of your physical body that's calling you? And in this moment, taking in a beautiful, nourishing breath to feed that body with the gift of life from this world of potentiality. Let's breathe in Ave. Sa. Bringing our hands to our heart with a smile, because when we exhale with a smile, we send the signal to the divine, I'm here, I'm here. And so with our hands on our heart, taking in a deep Ave Sa breath, we're going to relax them down again, bringing our hands, the Ave Sa breath in, Sa. Letting the head drop. And notice the peace. Notice the emotional body. Notice the physical body, feeling the comfort it can give to the emotional body. And in this moment right now, bring your hands to your third chakra or your belly, power center, right? And as we take in an Ave Sa breath on the Sa, we're going to bring the arms right up to our shoulders. So we're going to breathe, and we're bringing the energy up like our wings are opening. So let's take in a breath, Ave. Sa. Here we are. And let your head go back. Let your heart open wider, 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 wider as your mental body relaxes and your emotional body smiles. And your heart expands, bringing the hands to prayer position in a bow of grace and compassion, opening the sea of neutrality by moving from this prayer position with the arms like this. There we go, equal, right? Bringing them out. I am, right? I am here. Holding the energy of the sea of neutrality as the ignition of your ascended heart. It's the space where everything unifies and you can step into the middle. So I'm going to start the share again. How do you feel? Take a breath. How do you feel? Yeah, I feel some of you. And notice that power center. Notice that third chakra right now. And as you do, I'm going to go ahead and just put up the multidimensional screen again, and then I want to move right into the calendar. So when you're in the third dimension, that's when everything's overwhelming. And that's not ever going to stop. No matter how ascended you are, no matter how much you're in the unified field, if you are still carrying this body, you have an obligation to keep all the medicines going. And the 12 o'clock position is the physical. That's part of why in this realm of potentiality, it's the most dangerous position, isn't it? Because when it's all about the physical, and we're in a moment where it's density or destiny. So in the third dimension, you wake up. And when you wake up, there's this sense of, oh, there I am, often coming into a now moment, things of that nature. But it's when you hold enough compassion for yourself, when we were breathing through that whole process, and I invite you to go back, grab this video again, and do that often. And you look at the fifth dimension and you see what it says right there. You become the witnesser of you. That's the transition. It's where enough compassion is held for the self that you have the spiritual tenacity and generosity to step forward because it's the right thing to do, to keep moving, to know that through steadfast commitment, focused awareness, and complete trust, everything is possible. That's what transition is. It's the recognition of the potentialities of the multitudes of destinies. You are not a victim. You are the co-creator. And being in that witnesser mode until you can be there and release judgment. And so until you can release self-judgment, you will continually set yourself up for situations where judgment will usually be the reason you stop. Judgment is the ultimate delineating moment in this potentiality. Judgment is the glass ceiling of this potentiality. And when you are judging yourself, when you are judging others, anytime you are placed in a situation where you are finding yourself judging is because you are either A, deluding yourself that you're not judging, or B, heavily judging yourself and judging yourself because of it. So you see how it really initiates that downward spiral and has absolutely zero basis in truth. And this is why standing as the witnessing frequency of ascension itself is when we open our arms. Remember when we took our third chakra and went right up here to open our arms? That's when you take the power. I'm going to stop the share for 1 second because we're really into this. That's when you take the power of formed experience, which is the third chakra, right? And so what we do is we take our third chakra and we bring it up right here into our seventh dimensional wings, into that moment where we are able to stand through our spiritual generosity, which ignites the courage outside of a tit-for-tat society. Are you still keeping score? Are you still keeping your list? Are you still keeping your hours logs? Are you still keeping whatever? If you are keeping score, you have ulterior motives. And the bottom line is you won't be able to break the glass ceiling, because keeping score is a judgment. It says, I am not giving with open hands. I am giving with conditions. I am giving with boundaries. And I don't want to confuse the word boundaries, so let me pick another one. I am giving with limits. They're self-imposed limits, because what I'm not understanding is that by giving with all of these caveats, all I'm doing is building my own field, right? You're an incredible racehorse. You're an incredible gift, but you're building your own fence. You're standing in this beautiful, beautiful field, in our case, very literally, right? You're standing in this beautiful, beautiful field of your consciousness, consciously putting limits on it through the field of judgment. And that's what this time out of time sequence is about. Because in order to sustain seventh dimensional frequency as the witnessing being of the witnesser of the fifth dimension, of that third dimensional witness, and you see how easy this is? It's not hard. It just requires expanding consciousness. As Sri used to say, he would chart everything. It was like 0.001% was enough to do it, was enough to begin the lift. And so in that seventh dimensional witnessing, we are collectively at a moment right now, that which I am as you are, that which today I declare before you all, the unified field of wisdom teacher Sri Ramka, Master Lady Kira Raa, the Sri Ramka Kira Raa. I am aware of the blessing of being the witness, that is of the witnessing of that seventh dimension, to be able to sustain and begin adapting to, and for me, I'm grateful it's a time out of time moment, the absolute experience, which is what April is. It's an experience month of the unified field of what Sri and I were up until January 18th in this realm of potentiality, so that we could be this now. And in the we-ness that exists within, I wanted to bring to your attention this incredible book, The Ascension Renaissance. It was a culminating book that Sri and I will have written together while he was in his body of form. And I have many here that even if I have to do it myself, they will get out, I promise you. And The Ascension Renaissance matters. You matter. We had many birth moments of this potentiality. It was Helena Blavatsky herself in 1875 who met with the Ascended Masters, and they made the choice to have the Ave Sa energy sequestered in this potentiality because of the manipulative energy that was coming in the 1900s. And it was only after we made it through the Y2K experience that she came before Sri and I and offered Avesa and all things that you are seeing here, in addition to the ascended realms, in addition to all that. And then Sri and I went on a journey where our bodies looked very differently, where we lived a very different life inside of this body of form that does carry those memories. But Sri and I did what we were asked to do because we always said yes. And that was, we just kept, every day we would do ensoulments. Every single day we were doing ensoulments and just scribing. And I mean, we went from, in our 20 years together, it went from Sri journaling to his little hard discs that he loved. He was a tech geek, to however we were doing it here now. But 20 years, of which the first 15 were really about carrying the body and carrying the frequency that would bring and put those messages on the planet, that should this time arise, and it has, they would be there for all of us. And so in this book, Ascension Renaissance, it's at Amazon. You can get it on Kindle, you can get it on paperback, Spanish, English, and it's a donation to Global Minga. I want to bring you I'm going to read you one page, and that's page 7 on the paperback, because this is what matters as we're going into April, as I show you all the rest of this information. The language code of the ascended realms. Now breathe that in, even when I say that, bring your hands to your heart. What is the language code of the ascended realms? It is us right now. It is the way we are speaking. It is the way that we are coming forward together in all that we are. And many years ago, when Sri and I were working with those people that wound up being the AI thing, it was all about languaging. It was all about languaging. And so the language code of the ascended realms, I just want to read you this page. I want you to bring your hands to your heart, and I want you to give yourself the gift of really go back to 2019, because that's when this all began. And remember, 2019 was the year that Sri died. That was when we got 5 more years, miracle years after that. But is it any coincidence that this started in 2019 and that was the first time that Sri was off the planet? And so we were blessed to have these 5 years. Starting in 2019 and rapidly expanded from 2020 onward, the up-level mastery experience of this potentiality birthed the remembrance of the sea of neutrality. I am here. I am here. This heralded the call to ascended presence for those who choose. As the Saint Germain itself, through Master Lady Kira Raa, quote, "If this sounds confusing, relax, for most certainly it is. As you remember the depth of your smile beyond the illusion, may your heart receive that we are here with you now to share all that is yours to claim. To fully move forward through this moment, it is the essence of all that is inviting you to be once more." And I want you to just really breathe that in. To relax the brain of form into the mastery of universal wisdom that is already breathing through you and smiling with you. As you breathe that in, to facilitate and sustain the quantum leap required for those who choose to, quote, catch up, how specific words, as shared through the ascended mastery communications of this experience of language are understood, assist the brain ego to relax into the potentiality of that which is beyond its current limitations. I invite you to buy this book. If you own it, read it again, and especially the 4 knowns, and read that section on the languaging codes, because we are at a moment where, and I'm getting your questions coming in, so please keep throwing them in. What's happening is that Saturn is starting to play with us. And so I want to show you this. because that multidimensional sequencing I just showed you, that initiating practice I just showed you, it's time to teach that. And in May, any of you that want to join me, I'm going to be announcing this program this week. It's time for you to activate the sequences within you that will assist this languaging code to like suddenly click. Suddenly it's the only way you're thinking. It's the only way you can speak, because you're recognizing yourself beyond. And so as we come into this moment right now, I want to begin by sharing what's happening. Now, this page that I'm sharing with you right now is actually in part 2. Those of you that have the guide, this is in part 2. So super important for you to have this. And what you're seeing is the alchemical influence of Saturn. And this is starting to come in. I've been teasing about this all year. It was a lot. We talked about this in the first part of the guide. But as you're seeing right here, imagine the gift of the energy of basically Saturn offering you in this moment of choice to carry forward. Remember, it's a choice year to carry forward your spiritual enlightenment as the expansion of consciousness itself. And I want you to really notice how that feels. Notice how that feels. And you can be reading. I don't need to read everything for you, but what's really important here is I want you to get that. You see where it says the direct alchemical sequencing of the time out of time journey, which begins with Mercury retrograde. I'm going to show you the calendar next. So it begins with Mercury retrograde right now, and that is not going to release until the middle of May. And then this whole thing culminates with Saturn coming in. It is an extraordinary moment. And so it culminates with Saturn gazing squarely at us all. And we have been within this influence throughout the whole sequencing, meaning the whole sequencing of where we are right now. And this is what's important. It is the invitation, and bring your hands to your heart, breathe this in, because this is what it's all about right now. The invitation to set aside the inner war of the root chakra of this densified realm. Really breathe that. Really breathe that. This is the moment to set aside the inner war of the root chakra. Remember that in this body of form, the root chakra is about safety. And this is why a planetary thought body that is based upon fear is really entrapping those that are worried about being safe, whether it's in any of the 5 medicines, physically safe, mentally safe, emotionally safe, spiritually safe. Because remember, spirituality is still part of those 4 that's in this potentiality, because all of that has the overlay of the way that the processes of the brain are moving through the filters of belief systems here. So you have to move back into the center, into consciousness itself, to see and be in the continual recognition of the balance outside of the self, of the witnessing and the weaving and the being of the potentialities for the all. And so right now, in this moment, remember that this Mercury retrograde, you're in an extraordinary rebirth, because it's time to reawaken. It's time to revitalize. It's time to renew. It's time to recognize. It's time to release. It's time to recommit. And it's time to remember. And it's time to realize your divine mastery presence. It's your time to know, to absolutely know that there is a place, that there absolutely is a place where you can expand and fully integrate all the pieces. It's not that, so many people get confused about what is the Yoga of Self-Ascension. The Yoga of Self-Ascension is as unique as you are. All I am is someone who weaves through potentialities. Shri and I weave and dance through these potentialities, looking for the ones that are outside of harmonic balance. We were blessed to come in and have an extraordinary early moment and precede this one, and then wound up here on the other side of the world saying, okay, it's time. And right now, this April time out of time ignition is looking at you and inviting you to notice as your destiny density moment collides, and that's what's happening, and it's a collision. The way through is to be clear. Are you living in spiritual generosity, which manifests destiny, or a tit-for-tat world that holds you in density? Feel the freedom when you can just say, you know what? I'm here. I am tired of playing games with myself. I am tired of doing this. I'm tired of pretending, because that's the fear, doubt, and hesitancy. That is the derailment factor. And so I want to show you that calendar, and then I'm going to start taking some of your questions. And here we are. Let me just share the symbols with you again. So again, if you don't have your master's guide, please go to SriandKira.com, get it. You get both right now. So far, we're over 100 pages for the year, and I've still got a part 3 coming out, which of course it's just, one donation for all of it. But you see what's happening right here with Saturn. So that 2022 superior conjunction of Jupiter, did I share it? I don't see the green. Hold on, guys, forgive me. I thought I was sharing this for you. My apologies. There we are. Now I feel better. Sorry. Okay, so there we are. So the 2024 symbols are important. So this is again inside of your guide. But look right here. You see that big blue? And remember, we just went through this in March. We had that 2-week period that opened up, went through the 26th. Remember, this was touching everything. So what that is it's that superior conjunction. This started in 2022. So that opened the Jupiter effect, and go back and read about this in part 1. Well, that energy has expanded through the Mars rule of 2023. And again, that was in your 2023 guides. And that Mars effect fully integrated with the 2022 Jupiter conjunction. So imagine we've got Jupiter, we've got Mars, they're like boom, boom, right? You feel them, they're just like these boom, here I come, here I come, here I come. So you have this Mars, you have this Jupiter, and what's happening is that it's called Saturn. And I tried to get the most beautiful picture I could find, right? Because it's just like going, hello, Saturn's here. It's like, guess who's coming? It's Saturn. And this is a full presence of Saturn. It's going to open up at the end of June, just as Mars finishes up. We're not going to get a break. It's like boom, boom. And because of that, it's going to deeply affect the ascension frequencies. Along with the torrid meteor showers, I'll be writing all about what's happening with all that cosmic intersection activity in part 3. So you want to make sure you have your guides so you get part 3 automatically when it comes out. Now, if you look at my sequencing there, you see we have when Mercury retrograde begins, when it completes, when a post phase ends, when a pre-phase ends. So you want to remember those symbols, because here we are. Holy schmoly, guys, right? To quote Archangel Zadkiel. So bring a hand to your heart. Just let go of the dates, let go of the text, and just, okay, breathe. What am I feeling? Take a look. What am I feeling? What am I looking at? All right. And as you do that, as you are gazing, tomorrow, and look at today, you notice that square is almost 100% the back of your heart. Today is the day, like it or not, you're going to get pushed into the center of the eye. We are all being invited into this beautiful ascension resurrection, into this energy that is being sustained and supported at all of the medicines. All of them are coagulating around the planet in so many different ways to support this. It's just so beautiful how all the medicines are spinning together. So remember, angels, everything, just everything that is yours to claim through I am divine mastery presence. That place where you say, you know what, I know that. I am divine mastery presence. And I do want to bow before those of you that have been taking the 13-month journey with me. I am honored to walk with such masters. Those of you that are like, yes, I'm really expanding, I'm fully integrating, and I'm really learning to live this way. The miracles you all are co-creating, what we're bringing forward is extraordinary. And I do want to invite those of you, if that's something that calls to you, come join us in Divine Mastery Presence twice a month, where we are truly calling forward these miracles through this energy of Mercury taking flight right now. As it says right here, you can command the moment because the white mist is rising. And inside of here, I have the full white mist ensoulment, and all of the interpretations are in the Mastery Planner. And it's revealing all. It's revealing all. It's revealing all. It's that moment where you really just step down and say, okay, one body, many missions. So how many have you activated, and how many are you ready to activate right now? Because the answer is you can have it all. One body, many missions. In this moment of the unified field, that which animates this body is acutely aware of many of the missions that this body has had. and integrating the potentiality to assist to heal this body as well, to sustain it for yet another mission. You have the capacity to do this through conscious awareness. And as you're gazing at the calendar right now, we see that Mercury retrograde, this incredible, awesome restorative retrograde that's coming back to say, here it is, it's the return. Here it is. What are you bringing into it? But I want you to look at the peak, right? I'm just going to go back and remind you, what is that symbol? A peak ascension up level. And we've been having quite a few. They've just been like boom, boom, boom. And so as we dive into the time out of time sequence right now, and I'm going to talk a lot more about that next week's show, be there, just 15 minutes. But what you're seeing right here is that we are sliding into a peak moment. And when we arrive at that tri-shul really in our hands, ready to go, it's like, yours to command. When we have that tri-shul in our hands, a full solar eclipse, and you gotta love this, right? I'm just gonna stop the share. We have a full solar eclipse during an alchemical transformation new moon. How can you not love that, right? This incredible sun energy with this incredible new moon energy saying, what are you birthing? What are you bringing in? Because you're getting the opportunity to literally go into a time out of time moment, sequencing through that where all of humanity is going to pop out the other side July 1. Breathe that in. Really breathe that in. And as you do, notice, I'm noticing a lot of third and fourth chakra. I'm going to have a sip of my delicious, we call this a Kyla coffee. This is my 2-minute break. Is that okay, guys? So I'm having a sip of Kyla coffee. And this is our travel center, our coffee shop. And you can see there's actually Kyla and Ashtaraa. Oh, there they are. There's Kyla and Ashtaraa. Aren't they cute? Hi, guys. And I'm just going to do a quick pan. That's one of our little outdoor eating areas. And you should be able to see that's the labyrinth, right? Let's see. Oop, I don't want my finger in the way. Labyrinth and pyramid should be coming right up. Let's see. It might be hidden. Oh, there it is. Oh, let's see. Pyramid. There we are. And of course, the Compadres Mountains. And you can see them coming around to the Triple Goddess Lakes. And just so much beauty here today. I'm sorry for the backlighting. And as I'm doing that and enjoying all of you, I'm going to, if you don't mind the backlighting a little bit, I'm just going to sit for a moment here and look at the messages that Sue is sending in and invite you guys to enjoy this incredible view. Isn't it just gorgeous? Look at the Compadres Mountains. Let me do that. There you go. Let's see. Maybe we can get the pyramid in there again. If it's too much backlighting, let me know. But there we go. That's the pyramid too. I'll come over this way maybe a little bit. Okay. So let's look. Oh my goodness gracious. I don't even have all of these. I don't normally use this. So let's go with it. All right. So right up at the top, I'm just going to read them as they were sent to me. Batya. Hey, Batya. Hi, Angel. I miss everyone there. And I spent 2 weeks. Yes, you did. And I wish I could have stayed more. MLKR, thank you for taking such good care of me. The whole 2 weeks, I felt her love and support. Thank you, sweetheart. We miss you too. And we know you're always here. All right, Gary, I love you muchly, Kira. Well, I love you muchly too. I really do. And you should see the wind coming in. I think you guys can see it in my hair, right? PD, I love you, Kira. I love you too. All right, comment from Stephanie. Hello. Hi, Stephanie. Thank you, dear God, for blessing me with divine love that motivates every cell in my body. I am alive and I live in the east of Canada, and the first time in my life I've witnessed an eclipse. Is it safe to look up with no safety goggles? Thank you. Well, sweetheart, here's what I'm going to share with you. Because we live in a world of density, the answer I'm going to say is take care of your eyes. The reality is that certainly we can achieve levels of consciousness where we can do many things. We can many things. However, without that adept training, I strongly suggest that you love your body and say, I'm going to enjoy this eclipse and I'm going to take care of my eyes, and everything that I need to be nourished through my spiritual connection is going to come in through my abundant nature. So thank you for asking. And oh my God, I'm so excited for you, right? Okay. And then we have from Ilona. Hi, Ilona. Sending the love vibes to all. Happy Easter. Happy Easter to you, honey. We're happen to be with you too. And happy Easter. Question from Elizabeth. Hi, Elizabeth. How to attune with what is discernment of the heart versus judgment of the head and fears, gut reactivity. So I'm going to read that again. And why don't we all take in a deep breath on that one? Because that's a really important question. And this is really cuts to the meat of what's happening right now. So thank you for bringing this up, because this is back to that moment of absolutely knowing spiritual generosity or a tit for tat world. And so I'm going to read her question again. And here it is. How to attune with what is discernment of the heart versus judgment of the head and the fears, gut reactivity. Well, the first one is always, and it's my beloved Sri Ramka, you first begin everything by bringing your hands to your heart. And I always like to begin by noticing if my heart is still vibrating. I had a situation right before we went on the air that left me really, really shaken. And it was because I was in I was in one frequency, very quickly met by another frequency. And it was like I wasn't prepared, which is, what me invited this to be. So you always want to look at your heart, right? Are you shaking or are you stable? And so if you're not stable, Ave Sa breath, right? So let's just do a deep Ave Sa breath together, because I'm going to bring you into the process. So let's take a deep Ave Sa breath. Sa. Feel everything stabilize. Feel that peace coming in. And then you start thinking it. In this moment, I trust myself. In this moment, I trust myself. Even if you're faking it till you make it. In this moment, I trust myself. Yeah, in this moment, I trust myself. It doesn't matter. Keep saying it. Say it over and over and over again until you get to the point where in this moment, I trust myself. Then take a deep Ave Sa breath. Sa. Mantra of self-ascension. Only use your hands. I am here. And then we open our throat. I am ready. We become the vessel. I am open. And we ignite our heart. Guide me. The ignition of the heart calls forward the knowing that I am emergence itself. We ignite the heart. It is the unified field of the mantra of self-ascension. Let's do it again. I am here. I am ready. I am open. Guide me. And in that energy, we discover our spiritual generosity. Because in order to break free, in order to have true spiritual discernment, our heart must be open with spiritual generosity. And so it begins with spiritual generosity, or for lack of better words, forgive me, a tit for tat world. If you're still keeping score, if you're still thinking things are, well, I did this and they didn't do this, or I did this and they didn't do that, it means you're doing things looking, number one, for affirmation or a lot of attaboys. If you're doing something because you want the praise, then you have to find out what inside of you doesn't love you enough to lift into a seventh dimensional frequency. What inside of you feels that you need to keep score? What inside of you feels that you have been so harmed that the world is out to get you, so you're going to keep score? And not only are you going to keep score, you're going to make sure everybody knows you're keeping score so that you can hurt others by your score. Because if you don't feel your score is even enough, then you're going to hurt everyone you can because you feel that you need to do that. I don't know. Feels like a victim and a rescuer and an abuser to me. What do you think? These are the beautiful Compadres Mountains. This is the Pyramid of Peace. I'm breathing air that's infused with eucalyptus and pine. I'm drinking water coming out of the Andes Mountains, and I'm reverse aging every day. And we are all at a moment where this time out of time initiation is a balancing. What are you balancing in your life right now? Maybe it's time to open up the gateway to spiritual generosity. Because through spiritual generosity, suddenly you're doing things because it's just the right thing to do, not because of what you're expecting in return. Just really breathe that in. It's only when we expect something in return we can ever be disappointed or hurt. I did it myself this morning. We all have that. And every time it comes up, it's about, oh my God, there it is. And let's say enough. I don't need to do that again, right? Where are you walking your truth? That's the right there, right? That's important. I am ready. I am here. I am ready. That's what I'm trying to remind you. Throat chakra is your truth. It's your truth. And so thank you for asking, Elizabeth. All right, let me go back. We have Robert. Happy Resurrection Day, my beloveds. Time to rise and shine eternally. Yes. Thank you, sweetheart. Star Child and the Mystiques. Hey, mwah. So awesome to be here in your presence. We are blessed, as am I. Let me hear from you. Kate Rogers, what profound message has Shri conveyed this month? Oh, Angel, I love you for asking. Thank you. First, I want to share with you basically everything I'm sharing today, because, it's funny. I'm like, do I share this or not? I've just, Kate, you've been in our field since Santa Fe, and so I'm just touched right now that if this is the Kate Rogers, I think it is. So just thank you for being here. I think the greatest profound message from Shri has been the reminder that to carry the unified field in this world of form right now is the greatest gift you can ever offer, because it can only come from the space of service and the yes to service. And Shri and I, as you all know, spent 22 years walking in form together. And I don't know what my years or months, whatever, will be here now. But what I do know is that sustaining a body of form with Shri in me right now has been an extraordinary moment of self-trust. I'm literally, I don't want to give too much away yet, because what I know I'm doing for you. And we started it together. You held space for us back in Santa Fe. That was wonderful, which I'm hoping to start here at Toast of Blue Mountain, where every month we all came together for the ensoulment. We did the potlucks and people came from all over, and I would love to start that again. And so the message is keep going. It's don't stop. It's he had to do this because our combined mission as Sri Ramka Kira Raa is not done yet. And the only way to continue validating who we are, and I challenge anyone else to have sustained 22 years on YouTube being as authentic as we are and as consistent. You want a track record? Go right here to this channel. And so I thank you for asking. And Kate, I thank you for being here. It touches my heart deeply, and really at a moment today where I'm grateful for that. Mwah. All right, Aparna, hey babe, namaste, so much love and many blessings, and to you, sweetheart. And Goshko, hi, sweetheart. Let's see, there it is, Goshko. Thank you, MLKR, for being you. And I just want to take a minute and bow before all of you and say thank you for being you. Isn't that why we're here? We're here right now. And let's bring our hands to our heart again. Let's really bring our hands to our heart again. And as we do, I want you to just touch into that heart, the physical heart. Really touch into your physical heart. And as I sink into that, I'm hearing the Amazon River back here. I don't know if you guys get to hear the river, but it's really quite extraordinary. And it's really gushing today, it's below. So as you have your hand on your heart right now, April is the experience of resurrection. This entire month ahead in this potentiality, you are resurrecting with every breath. In just the short time we have been together right now. And I pray you come back and reconnect with this again. And remember, mark your calendar 1 week from today. I believe it's April 7, Sunday, noon, 15-minute update. We're going to need it. Because this is the experience of the resurrection. If you're catching us live, or if you're catching this as a rebroadcast, I am timestamping in March 31, Easter 2024. The moment where we are breathing into and stepping into the rebirth retrograde, that is a propulsion energy unlike any other, that moves us into, and I'm going to show you again, because you want to look at it really deeply. And those of you that have the planner at home, look at just the graphic, look at just the visual art. We're going right into the center of the eye. And you see today, you see Sunday the 31st, All you see is your back, the back of the heart. You're going. You're feeling yourself being pulled, but today was the push. You're too close. You're in. If you're here now, you're in. You're in. And so we're walking into this eye as Mercury opens an eye within an eye and says, hey, guess what? I'm going to show up right now for this rebirth so that you may reawaken. No matter where you are, open your eyes wider, expand consciousness more, right? Because this specific April Mercury retrograde is here to rebirth, reawaken, renew, recommit, and inspire you to realize your divine mastery presence in its fullest potential as the embodied gift of informed, ascended awareness. Yeah, breathe. Really breathe. Humanity is rising. And one of the affirmations that came to me just this past, and this really is, and I honor Deb, who's here, Deb Hart, who's here, another new extraordinary permanent resident here at Tosa Blue Mountain. Oh my God, a gift from Maui, a gift from Hawaii, and via Sedona. What's happening is that as we're breathing in, as we're moving forward, as everything is coming together, I want to share that we on Friday, just on Friday, and you know what, and it was after I took a visit up here. So wait, I got to show you this. Give me a minute, guys. Indulge me. Isn't that crazy? So for those of you that have not been to Tosa Blue Mountain yet, this all happened after I took another trip up to our mountain. And you can see this is the petroglyph. You're not even seeing all the petroglyphs. It's the other, this stone is much bigger than you see. It's actually blocking a lot behind it. But if you look to the left, you can certainly see the face of the lion, right? I'm going to give you my cursor. You see the lion, there he is. And what I'm pointing to right here, and it's much easier seen in person, is part of my validation that I believe Zecharia Sitchin was right and that I've got the proof. And after coming down from there, and having profound experiences with the condors who literally fly to my arms and have now started flying to other people that have been here. And all of the things that are happening up there, I was blessed to get back in touch with Emma. And Emma is the owner of AM/FM 247, an extraordinary radio station that has terrestrial stations and other stations and lots of other things. And Emma offered me an opportunity to expand the voice of consciousness. And this all happened on like Wednesday, and I'm premiering, this podcast is premiering tomorrow night, Tuesday night. And so I do want to offer you a moment to let me offer a moment of celebration that my heart, this was something that Shri and I had been talking about, bringing together, and could only happen once he really unified into me. And once I was very clear that this unified field would come in and very, very clear of what was happening was when Emma came forward. And so I invite you to support this new podcast to let people know. It's 30 minutes. I think it's a rich 30 minutes, and about time that a female polymath gets a little press, huh? I don't know why it's only the men, but at the same time, I know that I am blessed right now to be living the integrated brilliance of my extraordinary genius husband, and that which I am as you are, so that you can do the same thing. We are all expanding consciousness. We are all at the moment of the new world. And in the April moment right now, as we move into time out of time, it is destiny, density. And so here's what's interesting. They're not mutually exclusive. And I really want you to get that. It's not a pick. It's not a choice. It's an awareness of what you are calling forward. If you are in a destiny moment, you will be navigating density. And if you are deeply steeped in density, you are navigating your destiny. They're intertwined. Separation is the illusion of this experience of potentiality. And so as you're moving forward right now, what are you doing? I know that this Saturday, we're all getting together on our incredible, incredible journey of the miracle manifestation of what's going on in time out of time. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, then download the app. It's free, right? Get it, Spiritual Mastery with Shri and Kira. Download the app. Get into the master's journey. Become an emerald, diamond, sapphire. Be there this Saturday. Be there this Saturday. Co-create from the new world. And then on Sunday, we're going to come together and we're going to expand that even more, because the leap and the bound that is coming forward now is huge. And I want to just share, from Rebecca, I just received, so ready for the experience of resurrection and new life. And I love that comment, because that's the yes. What are we doing in the face of this right now? What are you doing in the face of it? You know what's happening. You know what's all around you. The question is, what are you choosing to do with it? And so I want to offer you one more opportunity. I'm going to come back. We're back here in the calendar. Hold on, or in the Mastery Planner, forgive me. I want to show you this again. Remember that the shield of Zadkiel itself is supporting the perfect balance, and that's what's happening. This retrograde is coming into balance. This started with that lunar eclipse, March 25th, right? We have to stabilize the force of the spin, and everything is happening concentrically within the choice of alchemical transformation, because 2024 in and of itself is a choice year. And all 12 months, first time we've ever had a wheel, right? Let's go back to 2019 when it still looked almost linear, right? And so all 12 months of 2024 hold a portion of the delicate balance, and that's what it is, my loves. This is a delicate balance. It is about putting on your mastery shoes and walking it with the grace and the ease and the confidence and the courage and the discernment and the spiritual generosity that you have prepared for, so that you're not even looking down. Failure wouldn't even enter in, because you are the teacher. You are the healer. You are the mentor. The alchemies that have birthed through the spin are the applied energy co-creating the time out of time anomaly. This is an anomaly. And the only way you walk through an anomaly is with the joy that it's here. Wow, cool. I get to walk through an anomaly. Outrageous. Gotta love the sacred sequence of incarnation, that it brought us all in together. And so remembering that the 5 medicines of this journey occur in the spiritual, physical, and emotional. April, what is April? According to the 5 medicines, April is all about spiritual. So of course, we're diving into the time out of time, where everything spiritual is density, destiny. Where are you going to go? Hold on to that which was, or absolutely know that which is. And then we move up to May, and May is the body. It's the integration of everything that's going to happen now. Still in that Mercury retrograde, but what's so beautiful is that when we hit June, right now, that's where Saturn comes in. And Saturn comes in, it's almost like a crown, right? April, May, June, the way that this is spinning. So everyone's putting on their crown right now. What does yours look like? What are you bringing to the table? What are you ready to be? I know that I am Master Lady Kira Raa, the unified field of Sri Ramka Kira Raa, here to serve through the Yoga of Self-Ascension as a living model of that which all are. The essence of your divine being, informed awareness, able to command a body of form, carrying a frequency of neutrality as an inspiration for the regaining of balance. Outside the field of judgment, we rise into the 9th dimensional presence, in the joy-filled witness again, in the recognition, I am as you are. Breathe. We are all expanding consciousness. I hope you'll join me Tuesday, and I look forward to seeing you Saturday for the extraordinary journey that we will all go on together to anchor and really call forward this conscious awareness. Make sure you have the app downloaded so that you can be there. Be here again next Sunday, 15-minute time out of time special segment, really important. And as your heart is ready, explore the YouTube channel that we just started for Tosa Blue Mountain. Subscribe, check it out, be part of the new world. If you can't be here with us in person, be there at YouTube. Join us. Let's build this together, because we are doing it, but we're doing it together. I love you with all my heart and soul, and I am honored to walk this journey with you. Thank you for inviting me to stay on the planet. I am truly grateful. And I know, as Shri is here, as I am with you, we are at yet another beautiful beginning. We are all rebirthing. I love you.